has also completed say, his task of grooming two of his scholars for the say submission stage. That is another say, great thing that say, has happened. And Dr. Asha's say, scholar has also completed the colloquium, and she is also ready with her thesis for submission. And these apart, we also have two from Pharmaceutical Sciences College who are ready to submit. And there is small delay, which I think will be, uh, you know, through with all the hurdles they have. And there is one more from chemistry, which is due for submission. That way, the people who joined us for research uh, in the very first say, admission cycle of August September 2016, have done a good progress, and of them, six are now in the last stage of submission, and two from the next batch are also ready, and they are from Professor Sunil Sensei team, who are basically the full-time scholars professor has taken, if I'm right. Okay. Now, it is say, very pertinent that now we give you glimpse of the PhD program at DSU. There's a reason why we thought we will have one presentation on the PhD program and what all you need to do and how to do. Those are the things that we will cover in this say, small presentation. Yes. Now, at DSU, we have PhD programs in various disciplines. All the engineering disciplines have. Then from the science side, we have PhD programs being offered by biological sciences, mathematics, then physics and chemistry. All right. And the Arts and Humanities, say, a school as of now doesn't have any PhD program. However, in English we have got one say supervisor, and that madam will also be offering the PhD program from our university. Now, if you consider the different schools, I think say School of Engineering has a large number of say departments, and even science departments are as of now part of the School of Engineering. Probably when we move to our new campus, which has been shown in the very beginning by Dr. Anupam, I think they will come under School of Basic and Applied Sciences. They'll be together. Dr. Anupam, please go back. I need to, yeah, right. Uh, okay. Now we have both full-time and part-time, PhD programs, keeping in mind the requirement of, say, PhD qualification in various, say, academic fields, and accordingly we have different, say, guidelines insofar as the time, the duration of the program is concerned. That anyway will come to that. However, one important feature is that DSU encourages people to take up interdisciplinary research. We have already got now four such research scholars. Two are in physics department. They are basically from electronics and communication engineering background, but they are doing their PhD work in physics on sensor design. Okay. Similarly, there is one more who is from the biological sciences, who is doing his research work under bioinformatics using machine learning. And that way we have got two more such instances wherein people from say other disciplines have taken up research work in the say in the discipline of their own choice. So we encourage this so that now there will be a lot of cross pollination of disciplines resulting in great research. Okay, go ahead, please. I think I should have taken the control of this. Yeah. Now, this we have already discussed full-time and part-time. For the full-time, say, research scholars, total duration is minimum duration is 3 years, and for the part-time, scholars, total duration is, say, 4 years. However, in case there are some unavoidable reasons, due to which the scholars, say, have to spend slightly more time, then of course there is a provision being made, provided it is recommended by the doctoral committee of the individual scholars. And accordingly, the full-timers can go up to 5 years total duration for their PhD work till completion. And for the part-timers, 2 more years are given, meaning now 6 years say, duration they can take. But this should be only after the recommendation of the research supervisor and the doctoral committee. And we will let you know as to what the doctoral committee is. Yeah. Now, which schools are offering? That's what now say we were discussing. In fact, now School of Engineering has multiple departments as of now. You will find Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Department of Computer Science and Technology, Department of Computer Applications. These are put together for the obvious reason that there is not much difference insofar as the research work is concerned. Even the courses are also more or less the same. We don't find so much of difference also. That's why we have put them together. And for each department, normally there is one doctoral research coordination committee, and that will be headed by a senior person as chairman of DRCC. Now, for these three departments of CSE, CST, and computer applications, there is one DRCC chairperson. In fact, I have been the DRC chairperson for these three departments. Then ENCE, Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, has its own chairman for the DRCC. Then we have got mechanical engineering, and also aerospace engineering has its own say DRCC chairperson. And we have physics, chemistry, mathematics. Even there we have got the coordination committee. As I said, English is the new addition. Right now, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and arts and humanities are part of the School of Engineering because they are working now in the School of Engineering. But as I said, when we move to the new campus, they'll become part of the School of Basic and Applied Sciences. Please go ahead. Now, School of Health Sciences has three colleges, of which College of Pharmaceutical Sciences is the one which has gone much ahead of others. They have got large number of research scholars, and two are completing as well. Probably one of them and their supervisor will also talk to you in the next, say, one of the such interactions. College of Nursing has two research supervisors. However, they are ready, but there is, say, one constraint that they should get approval from Nursing Council of India. They are waiting for the approval. Once they get the approval, they can also start, offering the PhD program. Now, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, as of now, Biological Sciences is the only college under a School of Basic and Applied Sciences, and even here we have got a large number of, say, scholars. Okay. Then a School of Commerce and Management. Here we have got the PhD program being offered in the Management Studies, and Dr. Asha Nadig is the DRCC chairperson. Now, overall structure of the PhD program, if you consider, we have several bullet points. I will take you through them one after another. As I said, we have DRCC for every discipline that I have already said, doctoral research coordination committee in each department held by a senior person as the DRCC chairperson. And for each research scholar, there is a research advisory committee. In short, it's also called doctoral committee. Okay. Unlike in say other degree programs, UG or PG, here for each individual scholar, there is a doctoral committee. Meaning we have to take care of say each scholar individually and see that they smoothly go through their research program and complete well in time. Then say for each scholar there is a PhD coursework and the corresponding syllabi. From this batch and onwards, we will have 4 courses for each scholar. Earlier there were 3 with 12 credits. Now one more course of 2 credits has been added by UGC. Of these 4, 2 are common courses, namely research methodologies and the newly added course by name Research Publication and Ethics. And these two are very important courses. In fact, now we are planning to have sessions also on this, and part of that will be there right today. Now, in this PhD coursework, there will be course examination, and we have got a very stringent passing criteria as well. Everybody should get minimum 50% of marks out of 100 in the coursework that now is there for everybody. Once you complete the coursework, or maybe in parallel to your study for the coursework, you'll also have to start, taking up the literature review work. You'll have to go through different, say, journals and identify some of the latest journals, I should say. That's very important, not the good old journals. Okay, and start identifying the research in areas where we can get into research. More about that we will touch upon later. So literature review is very important stage in the research, and how to do that. What are the means and say means that you have got to do that? That we will see soon. Okay. Once you have done literature review, naturally you will understand as to what are the areas of opportunities for you to take up the research work. Then you'll have to formulate your research problem, try to work toward solving that. In the process, probably you will hit upon some solution for some problem, or you may have come up with a survey paper, and we would advise you to send such survey paper or small work that you have done to a journal, uh, peer-reviewed journal. I don't say paid journal, that's very important, or repeated international uh, conferences that are held uh, quite frequently across the country. Once you have got such a publication, either in a journal or you presented your paper in a conference, then you are ready for your pre-PhD comprehensive IOS examination, provided you have completed your coursework successfully. Okay. Once you have gone through pre-PhD comprehensive IOS examination, uh, it is basically a DC meeting that happens with one external examiner as well, apart from the DC committee that is there for each individual scholar. Okay, yeah, there you have to finalize the title of your research thesis as well, and then you'll be given a lot of inputs by the DC members and the examiners on the progress of your research, whether you are in the right direction. All those things will be discussed in the pre-PhD comprehensive IOS examination. Don't be worried too much about this exam because you have put examination. Don't worry about that. And all the DC members as well the examiners will help you to do course correction if it is needed. Then say to monitor the progress of the uh, research by individual scholars, we have got biannual DC meetings. In fact, earlier we used to have once in a year, but now the management has decided that there should be two DC meetings in a year, and that should be happening without a miss, so that you will know where you stand, and DC members will help you, say in making, say necessary corrections if needed. So that's why the DC meetings are very important for each scholar. In fact, you should talk to your, research supervisor in case DC meeting is not happening, in time. Normally, in the months of February and March, there will be DC meetings, one DC meeting, and again in the months of September or October, it may start in the month of August also, there will be another DC meeting. Now, you have done good progress. You have published, say, papers as well in reputed, say, peer-reviewed journals, and you are ready to submit your thesis. Then, of course, now you'll have to prepare a long synopsis, and then, say, submit it to your supervisor so that it will be taken up in a DC meeting where pre-thesis submission colloquium will happen. Your DC members will go through your presentation and the log synopsis and see that whether it is ready for submission. If the panel thinks that your work has come to the stage of submission, then they will give you go-ahead signal, and you'll have to start preparing your thesis, and then you should submit your supervisor for review, and then you are ready for submission after the review of the thesis by your thesis supervisor. Then comes submission of thesis. Then a thesis should be evaluated. And here, of course, you should remember that uh, there is a policy at uh, DSU. There are two panels that are being prepared of examiners for each thesis. One panel consists of 5 examiners from Indian institutes or R&D organizations or industry. And again, there will be another list of, say, 5 experts from outside the country. Now, the guidelines from the management is that in the list of Indian examiners, we will have to have experts from the respective departments of IITs, IISc, IIMs, NITs, and triple ITs. Then say the institutions which are at the top of the NRF ranking. You must be knowing NRF ranking. Okay. Uh, there is stipulation that has come from the management, and no examiner or expert from Bangalore region universities are allowed now, okay, excepting the IASC and few more R&D organizations. Okay, this is one thing that you should keep in mind as to what should be the standard of your thesis. Then from the other list of foreign examiners, again, what has been say given as guideline is that there should be 2 foreign names. A lot of people from India have gone to other countries, maybe Northern America or to Europe, and they have proved that they're above class. Okay, they are accomplished people, but still, what say the guideline says is that we can have maximum 3 of these Indian origin say people in the examination panel, whereas at least 2 should be from foreign origin. That's what has been the guideline given. Hope you are clear about the examiners in the panel for each one of you, whether the Indian say panel or the foreign say panel of experts for the evaluation of the thesis. Okay. And these say examiners who are selected by the vice chancellor will go through the thesis and evaluate and send us the evaluation report. Once the evaluation reports arrive at our research cell, then we discuss with the COE and plan for the oral examination or VIVOS or oral examination. And the Indian examiner will be requested to come for the oral examination, and it will be held, say in the physical mode if there is no pandemic. Otherwise, oral examination will be conducted in the online mode. UGC has given permission to conduct the oral examination, DC meetings, then pre-thesis submission colloquium, pre-PhD comprehensive VIVOS examination, all have been conducted in the recent times only in the online mode. And once you are through with the VIVOS or oral examination, then the next stage is only award of degree. And if it is sometime in the beginning of the year, naturally convocation will be towards the end of the year. And in such cases, the successful scholars who have completed their VIVOS examination will be given PDC. Otherwise, if the VIVOS examination happens, say in the month of September or October, we are very near the convocation. You will get your certificate, say, by attending the convocation. So this is the overall structure of the PhD program. And I think now one thing that I missed is about the DC formation, doctoral committee formation. In doctoral committee formation, there will be your research supervisor, uh, co-supervisor if there is any, and then a DSSC chairperson, and there will be two experts from outside DSU. These two experts could be from uh, institutions such as IAC or ISI or other or IEM maybe, uh, or other universities. Okay, and these experts may also be from R&D organizations such as NAL or ADA or other organizations, or from industries as well. This one thing I missed. I thought I will correct myself. Okay, let us go ahead, Dr. Anupama. Next steps. In fact, we have already received the DC template filled by the research supervisors, where they have given a panel of experts to be, you know, formed. So they have given us a list of say, experts from outside DSU, and the two will be chosen from that list, and we will form the DC, and such DC formation notification will come to you from registrar's office. Okay, once the DC formation is done, next thing is the DC meeting, uh, wherein each scholar will make a small presentation on the research topic, which may not be the final one, of course. We agree because you're in the beginning of the research, say, journey. Uh, and then the coursework, uh, whatever have been prescribed by your research, say, supervisor, will be discussed and approved. These are the next steps that we have got. And then we also have coursework interactions, which will happen right from today. These are the few steps that say you should be aware of, so that you can be asking for this either with me or with Dr. Anupama or your research supervisor. Now you have the contact details in this slide. We have a research cell, and I am there, of course. My email ID is given, and Dr. Anupama with their contact details are also given. You can contact us anytime for any problem. Of course, most of the problems will be solved by your research supervisor or your principal or the dean. And in case there are any other pressing needs, you can always contact us for any problem that you have got. I think that then it is the Q&A, I believe. Yeah, right. If you have got any doubt or anything, say, uh, troubling you as regards your research, say, work you have taken up, you can ask us.
So I would request, yes, sir.
Yeah, or you can say remove that sharing thing, so that they may raise some comments as well.
Yes, sir. So yes, anyone can in fact ask a question. This is a question and answer time. On new research scholars, especially if you have any doubts.
Number has gone up to 72, of course, including supervisors.
Yes, everyone.
So Asha has already made a comment that now research supervisors are more anxious than their scholars.
Oh, is it so? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if there is any doubt.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes. Vinod. You may kindly mention your name.
Yeah, I'm Vinod Kumar.
Yeah.
Department of Management. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving opportunity to speak. Now, regarding the coursework, we don't have any idea about this publication syllabus, because already we have taken the coursework, the syllabus copy of our coursework. 3 papers I have. One is the research methodology, and other 2 are marketing and consumer behavior. But what about this syllabus? Is it being published right now, sir? Has they given
okay, Vinod.
Yeah.
Vinod, let me take that question.
Yeah.
Research methodologies and RPE are common courses. Okay.
Exactly.
RPE is added, as I said, after the UGC gave the guideline that it should be one of the core courses for the research scholars, irrespective of the discipline. Okay.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
And that anyway, your research supervisors also have the copy of the syllabi of these 2 courses.
Yeah. No,
Now,
actually,
I'm coming to that.
yeah,
The
sir.
background papers, there are two of them in your
Yeah.
research area,
Yeah.
and your research supervisor would have identified two posts.
Yeah, exactly. They have, madam has given me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have 3 papers. I have the syllabus copy. But what
Hmm.
is my query is only this research publication has it been, the syllabus has been notified in the syllabus. What I'm asking, sir. Like, have they given the details of the chapters of research publications, sir?
Research publications,
Yeah.
Sir,
which you need to refer to. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, sir.
No, no. Sir,
No,
his
no.
question, sir, his question is the fourth paper you mentioned that it is a paper titled research publication. How to write research publications? And all. He's asking where is the syllabus for that? The fourth.
Exactly.
Oh, okay,
Exactly.
okay.
That is my query, sir.
RPE,
Yeah,
research
RPE.
publication ethics.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. In fact, Dr. Anupama has sent the DC template, if I'm right, to all
Yeah.
the research supervisors. There the syllabus is given. However, we have not announced in our website. That I agree.
Exactly. And
Okay.
that's when it
Yeah.
may come down. When it may come
Acha,
down.
you, Vinod, you
Yeah.
please talk to your research supervisor.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Your supervisor must be
Yeah.
having the copy of the syllabi of both RM, research methodologies, as well as RPE.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Okay. All right.
information.
Hi, sir. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Sanjeev.
Okay.
I just had one query. This coursework, any idea of what time will the exam be? Approximately in the month of September, October, November?
Most probably it will be in the month of, say, October, because we want to have a physical examination. You know,
Okay.
in the
Okay.
case of our UG or PG program, we are certifying the online examination, but it will be tough in the case of a research program to
Okay.
conduct such programs. In case pandemic persists, then we may also go for the open book, a sort of examination through online mode. Okay, I don't say whether it's open book examination or post book examination. Okay, we will plan out and we will let you know. But as of now, if the
Okay.
pandemic subsides by the end of August, then probably we will plan the PhD course examination in the month of September, later part, or in the month of October.
Okay. Thank you. And my second question is there any model paper for these courseworks? Common papers, at least, research methodology?
Okay, research methodology. Yeah, we will give you one such question paper which had come for one of the previous batches, that we will give you. And in our library, of course, those are there as such. In case you happen to visit our library, you can see that. But now that we can't say travel also, because of this problem. Yeah. Probably we will take out one such say paper and send it across to all of you.
Okay, sure. And is there any e-library available?
RPE.
Sorry?
Pardon me?
Is there any
e-library, right?
E-library available?
Well, yeah, for the research scholars, you'll have to go through a lot of e-journals as well. That facility is there. But as of now, you don't have permission to, go through those e-journals. I think there is some arrangement being made by the library. We can say go through even from our home. Okay. Anyway, more about that now we will let you know.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, we have received the second common paper, that is RPE, research.
Yeah,
but we got the syllabus, sir, but we didn't get what is the exact boundary of the syllabus, because no prescribed textbook it is given for that syllabus.
Yeah, you are right. There is no prescribed textbook.
That's why we are not understanding what is the exact boundary within that we can able to prepare for that subject.
Good question, Manam sir. In fact, we are planning to have sessions on this.
Okay.
Probably we'll have to call out the topics from different, say, textbooks and research papers, so that
Yes.
we can have very solid, say, material for this particular course. That we'll be doing in the process. When
Oh,
we take the class, we will do that.
yes, sir.
We'll also give you some references.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, this is Ranjit, sir, calling from Shumoga.
Okay.
Sir, actually, some of the textbooks which are mentioned in the coursework, they are not available in the DSU library, sir. So, please make some arrangements so that we can get those textbooks, sir. And some of the textbooks are not all available in online, sir, like in Amazon or Flipkart, like that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Achha, back
So
in
that's
your
why.
college, you're working in a college, right? In Shivamogga.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So even in your library over there, the book is not available.
No, sir. Actually, some of the courses are related to biomaterials and all, sir, bioscience and all. So the prescribed books are related to those subjects only, sir. So it is usually not available in most of the engineering colleges, sir, as is it is related to biochemistry, biotechnology, like that, sir.
Yeah. Professor Ranjit.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah. Yes.
Professor Ranjit, Banga sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can I interfere?
Oh, please, please. I wanted to say anyway. Please go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, we welcome all the, fresh, PhD registration registered candidates. I'm the registrar here. Professor Ranjit.
Yes, sir.
My answer to your question is that kindly visit the ISC library and go to that and get it. It is not a PG course or a UG course. You are all the research professors. So you are doing a research work. Do some little bit research work. And the coursework is given by your guides. So when the coursework syllabus is given by your guides, I think they are very well aware of that, where from that portions and all those things. Right?
Okay, sir.
I think we should do some research. It is not just a table. It's available in the library. Just don't go by the textbook.
Right? No, sir. Actually, we can read in online also, sir. But the thing is, when the
please talk to your supervisors.
Yeah.
Talk to your supervisors. It is your supervisor is going to recommend the syllabus and the textbooks, which are the things that has to be referred. Please talk to them.
Yeah.
Sir, do we have an option to get the textbook from DSU library or not, sir?
No, sir. As of now, no.
Oh, yes, sir.
As Dean Research told that it can be thought of. As of now, no.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And especially in the biomaterials, IA is the best place, as our registrar said. Second, you can also visit, say, a center for biotechnology, and there is one more institute here that's in Electron City. I will pass on that details to you, okay? Because you have asked for that. And there are other organizations also, R&D organization in Bangalore. You can get, say, these details about the biomaterials in these institutions. Anyway, Ranjit, we will remember your request. The biomaterials are very important in many areas now. Okay.
Yes,
but
sir.
IAS is the best place as a registrar site.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Sir, and kindly provide the option, sir, so that we can also get the textbook from DSU library. So, and we can return it, sir, once the coursework is completed. As registrar, sir, said that this option is not yet available for the PhD candidates, sir.
Anyway, library card will be issued to you also. Let us discuss with the librarian. We will do that. I and the registrar will talk to the chief librarian and try to make arrangements for the research scholars as well.
And of course, if that is getting issued, then you have to make some deposit and get the library card issued.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
That will not be included in your fees as of now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Nandan here, calling from Bangalore. So few months before I was being given access for EBSCO, so it was making a very good apply to me in reading the articles and journals. But from few weeks, I was not being authorized to go for it. So I request that can I get that for all the scholars so that it will be very helpful for everybody, sir.
Okay, Nandan.
Sir, can I talk about this, sir?
Yes, madam. I was to say that Asha will answer this.
Yeah, Nandan, what had happened was when we went into this online mode, even the classes, we had taken the permission till June 30th. Okay, so that is the reason why we gave the same access to all our PhD scholars as well. Now, going forward, on Monday, it is going to get reopened again for a few more weeks. We will give you the access again. I'll send you the link. You may join the link on Monday. There is a seminar organized by the people from EBSCO, and they'll give you the further details. I'll share the details with all of you.
Sure, ma'am. That looks fair. Perfect.
Banga sir.
Yes, sir.
There is chat that Sujani Prachuri. Okay, she's asking that all the coursework will happen this year or it is bifurcated between the years. Can you answer the query or shall I?
Okay. Within 2 years, one should complete the coursework. Right, sir? That's what the
yes, sir.
PhD regulation says. And I request all the research scholars to go through the PhD regulation, which is there in our website under research in a caption. Please go through that. And this will be also told to you during your DC meetings and, other, say, forum. So, but the research, guidelines given in the regulation is the best one. In case, for some reason, somebody is not able to get through in the first attempt, nothing to worry. There is second attempt, for the paper, but try to complete at the earliest. And I'm sure, being research scholars and being working in some of the institutions or organizations, it should not be difficult for you people to complete the coursework. And guides will always be there. The research supervisor will always be there to help you out, in understanding and writing the examination in your coursework. Hope I answered. Sujani, right? Sujani is in a question.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sujani, yes. Sujani, I hope you have got your answer. Sir, there is one more question from Ranjit. What is the passing marks for coursework?
Okay, I think I made a mention of that.
55.
It is 55%.
Yeah.
The bar is a bit higher.
As per the UGC. Yes.
Yeah, as per the UGC norms, bar is a bit higher naturally because you are doing your research work.
Sir, there is one more question from Kaushik Sai. He wants to ask if the coursework held common for all the disciplines, or is it at different times?
Okay. RP is common for everybody. And research methodology is probably this time. Of course, we are having two views, whether it should be common for all the disciplines. Naturally, the engineering and the science will have one flavor of research methodologies being, very apt. I think within, a few days, we will finalize that. In fact, I and registrar sir will discuss and come out with the final research methodologies in our curriculum. But it will not, be different too much as such. Maybe 5% or 10% max, there will be difference. Right, sir? Registrar
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It won't be too much difference.
So is there any other question, scholars or supervisors, anyone from the audience?
Yeah, I think, it is the time that I also should congratulate our registrar, sir. His scholar also has completed. In fact, even we are awaiting the reports. Of course, his scholar probably has not come. I would request registrar sir to give his advice to all of you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir. I think you have covered most of everything. The aspect of the research process that we have, the DSU has adopted. Only thing is that look into the publications, the quality of the publications with I mean our research candidates, which is going to reflect on our profile, the university profile. That is one thing. Second thing is that while writing the affiliation of the DSU, please write it as Dayanand Sagar University, Kudlu Gate. I think our Dean Research will give you the exact affiliation, because that affiliation matters a lot for us while going for the university ranking and all those things. You cannot just write it as a DSU or this one, because since it will be online, they are going to evaluate and search it. So we are, even though we will be having a very good publications, we are going to miss out due to the non-specifically written of the affiliation. I think, sir, I think that you should send out a communication to them, how the affiliation should be written, both for our supervisors and as well as our research candidates, sir.
Yes, sir. We'll be doing that actually. Yeah, right.
Sir. The third thing is that, I mean, take the thing seriously and hope you clear up the the coursework at the earliest and start into your research work. And at the end of the DC meeting, what are the comments that is given by your DC committee members or the experts? So consider it and try to improve on that. And the fourth thing, have a cordial relation with your guides and all the, be always in touch with your guides supervisors or co-supervisors, and maintain a cordial relationship, which will not lead to any other thing. And if you have any difficulty and your Dean Research is there, so you can contact any one of us. So I wish you all good luck for your entire research process. Thank you.
We don't want any such issues. Otherwise, I and registrar will have to break our heads to sort out the matter. So
no, that's why I hinted, in an indirect way, sir. They should maintain a cordial relation with the supervisors and co-supervisors.
Yeah, right. I think now we should.
Banga sir, Dr. Banga sir, there is a question which has come privately to me in the chat, because the scholar concerned is not able to send the message or talk. This is scholar Jakki Reddy Suresh Reddy. He's in fact. So he has a question, sir. He's saying that literature review needs to be done in chosen domain area or in specific to product category, or both. No microphone, sir. I'm in a very remote area. That's why I'm not able to speak on the microphone.
Okay.
Let them discuss with their research guides, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm the guide. In fact, I've discussed with him, but I think he was.
You should have answered that question, right?
I did. I think he was not convinced with my answer, so he's asking it in this common forum. But
okay.
Right. Yes, you want to answer that, or?
I've been answering him, but I think he wants to have an answer from you, sir.
Rishwa, sir, you will go ahead, or I will give him.
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Acha, Jakki Reddy, it is this way that initially, probably we'll have to go around and find out as to what are there in the area that you have chosen for research. Then you narrow down. That's how we have done our research. In fact, I am from CSE, Computer Science Engineering. I want to do something in compiler design. Then I went to my guide at IIT Kharagpur. He said, "Arey, this area is too much researched, and if you want to do some research in that area, you should talk to Professor J.D. Ullman, because he is a father figure in compiler design." And when I went through the literature, all the journals, I found a lot of things have been done, and they are highly mathematical also. And if you go by the research papers, then I went back to my guide. Sir, what do we do? Then he said, if you want to be a good compiler designer, you should be good computer architect as well. Why don't you work in the architecture area? That's how I got into architecture area. I came up with some problem definition in the networked computer architecture. That's how it went on, Okay, so you have to do a lot of search in general area pertaining to your research topic, and then you'll have to narrow down. That's what should be done, Jakki Reddy. Anyway, during your research methodologies sessions, we will discuss it further. In fact, I have got one such anecdote also to illustrate right today.
Right, sir. He is responding, but I think it's coming only as a private message to me. So I think Jackie Reddy is...
Last question.
Yeah,
one question from my side.
Preeta, yes.
Yeah,
Please.
I am a co-supervisor. So just I want to know that there is any like a number of publication in SCI journal, one journal must, or what type of journal types I want to know, Scopus for finishing the PhD criteria. Yeah.
All right, I will take this question, and I will also be helped by my registrar. In the regulation, it is mentioned that there should be one paper to be published in a peer-reviewed journal, and then two publications, basically in the form of presentations in international conferences, reputed international conferences. Let me underline that, reputed. Okay. Now, the journal publication should be such that it should be in unpaid, Scopus indexed, or Web of Science, or SciIndex journal. That's what we have decided. However, now the management has said, yes, we should really come up with some standard for our PhD program, and hence we have been insisting on two publications in peer-reviewed journals and one presentation in an international conference. This is the norm that we are using. Registrar sir can add on to this.
Yeah, there should be Scopus in, as you mentioned, sir. There's a Scopus indexed or Web of Science with a high impact factor, and preferably the unpaid one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially people who want to aim at SciIndex journal. I have got a recent experience. We sent a paper along with my research scholar almost 1.5 years back. We had two reviews being done by the experts from the journal side, and we had answered the comments which had come in the first review, and somehow we missed out on one point. It came for second review, and finally it has been approved after 1 year, 2 months.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
I mean, I'm not discouraging people, but it is good that such review comments come from the journals. And we should take it in the right spirit and start working towards answering their queries, which might take some time. But it is worth it, I would say. The day we got the approval, we rejoiced that day.
Yes, so it will take 8-9 months. That's fine.
Yeah, madam. In fact, no, it has taken 1 year, 2 months.
Yes.
But it's SciIndex journal, so that's why we are very much satisfied.
Right. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, shall we proceed with Dr. Sunil More's session?
Oh, yes.
So we will proceed with the next set of sessions. If there are any questions, you can keep it with you. We will address it in a while. I would now like to thank Dr. Banga, Dean Research, and welcome and thank Dr. Puttamadappa sir, our registrar sir, who was not there in the beginning of the session, but without whose, I think, valuable inputs, today's session would not have been really complete. Thank you, sir, for attending and to attend, sir. We look forward to your presence. I would now like to welcome Dr. Sunil More, Dean, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, and one of the supervisors also of our university. Sir, can you please come over? We would like to hear on the perspectives on research for the sciences from you. Dr. Sunil More, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, each and everyone. Good afternoon, respected registrar sir and my colleague, Dr. Banga sir. Let me begin with the research in biological science. Under School of Basic and Applied Science, right now we have a biological science program. And as rightly mentioned by Professor Banga sir, that biological science is it is not one program. We have several subjects in biological sciences like biochemistry, biotechnology, microbiology, genetics, and chemistry also we have with us. So like that, geology, under geology also there are guides available. Botany also there are guides available. So right now we have 17 faculties with 16 of them are recognized guide, and majority of them have students, scholars, and we have scholars, more than 20 scholars in our department. As mentioned by Professor Banga, that rules and regulations of our university and it is closely monitored and rightly it is implemented in the Anand Sagar University from the beginning. And of course, there is a doctoral committee. The kind of doctoral committee they approve is of standard. And what we expect from our student is the quality work. Why quality work? Because the thesis is being evaluated by a foreign referee as well as Indian standard referee. That's the reason having good thesis and having good content is always it is important, and it is need of an hour now. And also the publications. People many in our life sciences area, majority of the work will be done only at the end of the work, probably after 2.5 years or 3 years. So we may miss out sending the communications or publications in the beginning. What I request all the scholars is try communicate the initial data, the preliminary data into publications, so that at the submission time you will have 2 publications at least in the good journal. So some people may wait for complete data, so which we may miss out the publications, and for this reason the submission process might delay. I am fortunate that 2 of the research scholars who are regular scholars, actually they were working in funded projects, so they were taken it as a JRFs, as well as they continued working for their PhD also. So I am fortunate that they worked regularly for the project. So through project completion, they also completed their work. That's why in exact 3 years, they are going to complete in few days. So exact 3 years, so they could able to submit their thesis. They are going to submit in next week time. So that is possible. That's what I wanted to tell you. And try attend more and more scientific conferences during your doctoral program, because the only way you get very good ideas and criticism is if you present your data or preliminary data in some of the good conferences. So people will give some hints or some area of improvement, so that you can improve on that, and take each and every doctoral committee meetings important, very important, because we have good set of doctoral committee members. So their inputs are really valuable. So these aspects are much important. And make use of a parent institute, the Dayanand Sagar University. Of course, under Dayanand Sagar University, many of you are part-time research scholars. It doesn't mean that you cannot interact with the guides. You have to interact regularly. That is a bit missing in some of the students. That is not at all good. If you are disconnected with your guide, the delay of your work is also same way, right? So you should be always in connection with the guide, and progress of your work should be reported weekly basis, and 1 week advance you should take work, and what you are doing, all that you should present it. That is all good practices, one should do it. So these are all a few inputs I wanted to give. And also department has very good equipments through funded projects, and these equipments, nevertheless, people can come and use it and get done good work in science area, especially in biological science and in chemistry area, because we have very good set of equipments which was bought through DST and VGST grant. So this is what I can tell you. All the best. My best wishes to all of you. Have a nice 3 to 4 years journey of your PhD. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sunil More, sir, for your valuable inputs on perspectives of research in the science stream. I would now like to welcome Dr. Asha Nadik, Chairperson for the Doctoral Committee in the Department of MBA Management Studies. Ma'am, kindly take over for this session.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anupama. Good afternoon, Registrar Sir, Dr. Banga, Dr. Anupama, professors from other departments, and a very, very warm welcome to all the research scholars. Now, at the outset, my hearty congratulations to all the research scholars for coming into the Dayanand Sagar University family fold. Now, DSU offers a very, very challenging work environment that will help you realize your research goals. A very rigorous process will challenge your intellect, and the campus ambience will shape up your minds and your thought process. Now, talking about the research in management, we have scholars working in the fields of finance, human resources management, marketing management, supply chain management, And the newly added department now under the management stream is the business analytics streams. Now we have about 8 professors guiding the students, and each professor roughly on an average has about 5 to 6 candidates, and all these candidates are at their various stages of research. Now, talking about the research perspectives in management, basically this requires a lot of data collection to understand a phenomenon. Now, this can be done in a number of ways, like you can explore, that is when a researcher observes something and he seeks to understand more about it, which is by and large, we call it as an exploratory research. That is through observations or interviews and surveys, you gather some information, preliminary information, and you try to make out something, you come to a conclusion. The second type of research we have in management is you try to connect ideas so that you understand the relationship between the different aspects of an issue. That is basically like the cause and effect relationship, which we call it as an explanatory research. And the third one is called as the explicatory research, or it is also called as descriptive research, basically where we explain what is happening in detail, or more so an academic research. In all probability, the students will be indulging in either exploratory or explanatory research. So these are the 3 types of researches which a management student can pursue. Now, I think all of you who have come in, your professors will be guiding you in all these aspects, and you can choose whichever suits you best. Now, on a general note, I would give you some pointers to a very successful PhD journey. First of all, I would like to talk about publications. Now, this is one top priority for you to enter the job market along with your thesis. Publications are going to be extremely tough. They consume a lot of time. Sometimes we fail. So start thinking about it from your initial days. Collaborate with your professors, with your faculty guides, as they know the process better and they'll lead you. So that is one way that, because like Dr. Banga was telling, 2 publications are a must, and that they have to be in a quality journal. So, and quality journal generally takes at least a minimum of at least my papers are still in the forthcoming issues for the past 21 to 23 months now. So though I have worked until that comes out, say I was in your place in the doing the research now, I probably will have to wait till the publication is done. So initial days, start planning your publication so that you don't waste much of your time. The second aspect you will have to keep in mind is the quality of your work. You'll have to bear in mind that your work should be of an extraordinary quality. No part of the research can be from an existing already quoted source. That is, I mean to say there should be no plagiarism. The university has a zero tolerance to this aspect. The third one, progress of your work. There will be a review meeting every 6 months. There will be a panel which will check and examine your progress, and they'll give you further directions. So make the best use of this panel, the guidance. Other than your internal guides, the external panelists will also be there. They'll also guide you. Now, finally, one point I would say, your balanced life is very, very important, because PhD can be a very, very time-consuming affair. It's not going to be easy for you. So be patient, sleep well, eat well, have a hobby so that you find solace during your difficult and testing times. Now, just to conclude my session, education at Dayanand Sagar University, I promise it will be a fulfilling experience. It should be a rewarding journey. You will be learning a lot. The experience you gain here, the moments you spend here should be cherished by you for a lifetime. So all this is possible only if you stay focused. I underline the word focused. You should adhere to the deadlines. You should tread the path as shown by your faculty supervisors. All the best to all of you. Good and have a rewarding journey. And I thank Team Research, Dayanand Sagar University, for giving me an opportunity to talk to the new research scholars. From the management side, I'm always there to help all of you. You can come and talk to me anytime you want, anybody. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable inputs for the management studies perspective. I would now like to call upon Dr. Sarvana Bhavan D, Associate Professor, School of Engineering, Mechanical Engineering Department, supervisor himself, to provide perspectives on the engineering stream. Sir?
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Yeah,
Thank you, madam. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Registrar sir, Dean Research sir, Sunil More sir, Asha madam. I myself, Dr. Saravana Bhavan, Associate Professor in the Mechanical Department. All of the generally I'll speak about PhD program. A PhD program is a research activity, and for that you have to choose your own supervisor who is expert in the proposed area of research, and you should have create a passion to work in that specified subject. Not by saying that my guide has told to do, I should do. No, it should not be that. You should have a creativity plus passion, creativity plus passion. And if you have those things, you can achieve. And make sure you do your PhD on your own research and not to copy research from others. Okay. As coming to mechanical department, we have different streams like design engineering, manufacturing engineering, thermal engineering, materials processing, nanoscience technology, material science, composites, additive manufacturing, as well as interdisciplinary subjects such as biomaterials, sensors, and biocomposites. So these are the main streams in mechanical engineering department that we are being much focused. Coming to a general PhD, as already mentioned by Registrar Sir, Dean Sir, I should also show some of the things. Like you should carry out literature survey. Literature survey is the most important thing. After doing a literature survey, conduct your own research and collect your results. After conducting this thing, make sure you make a thesis, submit, and then you have a defending your thesis and all. Apart from this, make sure you publish your papers with a DSC affiliation in good reputed journals, SA indexed, impact factor journals, and publish in a well reputed conference. Apart from that, you should have patience in doing PhD. You should not be very urgent in doing that. See, experimental results will not get in one day. You need to do lot of trial of test. Someday, at any one point of time, you may get that result, and keeping that result, you make a paper of your own English words, and at last you need patience for doing that kind of work. And after doing all these things, one last thing I should tell that PhD, why PhD means, though people think generally PhD, if I have, I will get a good salary, good thing. That is the secondary, but apart from that, you shall have a passion of doing that. I'm doing some extra thing and serving to the society. That should be the main aim. And I thank Pankaj sir for giving me this opportunity to speak. And I thank Registrar sir. And thank you, Anupama madam. All the best. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. So Dr. Sarvana, thank you so much for your valuable inputs. Dr. Sarvana is one such supervisor under whom there are 2 scholars who are also going to get their PhD very soon. So thank you, sir, so much for your kind perspective. We would now proceed to the perspectives of our graduating scholars. I think that's something that all the scholars can relate to. So in relation to this, I would like to now call upon Ms. Shweta V. She is a passing out scholar under the guidance of Dr. Sunil More sir from the School of Basic and Applied Sciences. Shweta, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shweta V, full-time research scholar from School of Basic and Applied Sciences, Dayanand Sagar University. My research work is in toxinology, and I'm working under the guidance of Dr. Sunil S. More. To talk about my research work experience, being a full-time research scholar, it helped me in giving my fullest to the research work, and I was absorbed as junior research fellowship under DST funded project, and I had a privilege of well-defined objectives and research plan that was there funded by DST, and it helped me in starting my work earlier. Also, I'm very thankful for my to my guide for his moral support and his assistance. He was always insisting on focusing along with the research work. He was also focusing on sticking to the guidelines and for the publications now, which helped me in coming up with 2 publications with my preliminary works that I have done, which helped me in timely submission of my project work thesis, which I'll be submitting shortly. Also, this also provides me an opportunity to focus my remaining part of the work to aim for further higher impact fact journals. However, our 2 research publications are under Taylor and Francis Publications and Scopus Index Journal. Also, as mentioned by in the morning session by Krishnamurthy sir, all the research scholar is working individually for his work. It's the collaborative and all the suggestions and inputs given by our team around that makes us successful in completing our thesis on time. So firstly, I would like to thank my guide because for his project, the financial assistance from DST had come, which has helped me in continuing the project, and for the Dayanand Sagar University for giving me lab facilities. And also there is a lot of collaborative work that has also been going on. Like when I had to perform my animal studies experiments, I was permitted to use the facilities of Animal House from the pharmacy department. And even in School of Basic and Applied Sciences, we have excellent faculty members who are always ready to help with their knowledge and give us input or suggestion based on our research work. And also, as mentioned by my guide and also Banga sir, there is doctoral committee meetings which are held on timely basis. This was very helpful for me because for every doctoral committee meeting, there was subject experts who were called, and it was Girish sir who was there for me. And he, with his 20 years of experience in research in the same line, was also gave us very thoughtful inputs and suggestions for our research work. And also our faculty members also helped us in coming up with this research work. And I thank a lot. I thank Dr. Putmadappa sir, I thank Banga sir, and Dr. Sunil S. More and Anupama ma'am for giving an opportunity to speak on behalf of Dayanand Sagar University about my research experience. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks for providing your perspectives, and wish you all the very best for your degree as well as for your future.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I would now like to call upon Ms. Gayatri, PhD Research Scholar in the School of Commerce and Management Studies under the supervisorship of Dr. Asha Nadik, to provide a perspective on the doctoral journey in management studies. Gayatri, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, one and all. I first of all congratulate all of you to choose Dayanand Sagar University to pursue your careers, which is one of the best decisions. So now coming to, all the dignitaries have been talking about research. I would first thing tell my journey was like taking out the fear. The first and the foremost thing is please take out the fear that there's something very abnormal, or there's something very thing coming up, and don't fear PhD. PhD should be a very pleasant journey for each one of us. And how you overcome fear, because I have done my a PhD from in the HR stream, and I've been working on the HR analytics stream. So I would my small input would be that think something out of the box, because research is something that you invent, and it's not that we have something in the books and we have something outside and we are just talking about it. So think something out of the box, come up with, talk to people, get that criticism, and talk more about your ideas, and that is where your ideas get converted into a research, and that is going to be something very excellent when it comes out. So come out of that fear and talk. The more you talk about it, it works out. And the third thing is when we talk of review of literature, because many of you had this questions of coursework exams, or be it review of literature and all that. So coursework exams are very, very, very important, and you will learn the basic theory of it. But again, just don't stick to your bookish knowledge of being understanding of what the coursework happens. Explore the world. There are so many other sources. Talk to people. There are so many knowledgeable people in our university who can, you just have a chat with them. You'll have so many ideas cropping up and you can really work on that. One such person whom I've been interacting is Dr. Anupama. She's done an excellent work in the area of research. She has been awarded Best Paper Award for so many in so many international conferences. So she's been one of a good source for each one of us in the university to whom we can rely on. And coming to publications, yes, all of us have been talking about publications. I would suggest go into publications rather than going through the guidelines of the publication. Download some relevant articles in that particular journal and read them. Please read them. Understand what are those common factors that are available in that particular journal. What is the expectation? So that makes our life practically easy to get it published. So we know what are those common things that a particular publication journal expects, and that is how we ensure that, you know, with less reviews coming back, we try to publish them more. And coming to more and more DC meetings, yes, never ever have the fear that DC meeting is approaching and I'm somehow going to escape this and things like that. Never have that fear, because the more we talk to people, the more we talk to experts, our life is going to become easy in the PhD journey. So I would suggest each one of you to overcome that fear and talk more about your idea that gets converted into a research. And I thank anything else. Yes, we could keep interacting because I'll be very much there in the university. So any point of time, any small help, yes, we are always there, like ma'am has been telling. And I thank Banga sir, Puttamadappa sir, Asha ma'am, who's been my guide. I thank my co-guide, Dr. Revati ma'am and Anupama ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to just share a practical experience of my 3.5 years of journey, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gayatri, for those inspiring words, for your kind words also. Yes, we will definitely keep coming back to you and maybe expose you more to our management scholars going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I would now like to request the presence of Mr. Vijay, PhD research scholar with the Mechanical Engineering Department under the supervisorship of Dr. Sarvana Bhavan. Vijay, kindly.
Yes.
Doctoral journey perspectives. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to the Dean Research, the Registrar, and all the supervisors who are there from the different fields. So I started my journey as a research scholar, part-time research scholar, and we were the first batch of students at DSU. So back then we did not have the facilities that you all have now. So you all are on the luckier side when we are compared. So the same doubts what you all had, the similar things even we had initially. So how to go about the coursework, which are the textbooks to refer, will I clear in the first attempt, how it is going to happen, all these things. So, but as the time went on, initially we had to choose the guide and broadly classify our field of interest in research. And once that was done with me, I chose Dr. Sarvan Bhavan from DSU and Dr. R. Keshavamurthy, professor and head from Dayanand Sagar, as my guide for my doctoral studies. And my studies went with respect to material science and mechanical engineering. So with that, then came the coursework in the span of 6 months. So initially we took all the subjects, whatever that was there for a coursework, and we completed it in one shot. So I think all the people who have registered here are professors in some of the institutes or working in an industry or somewhere. So clearing the coursework with some amount of study will not be a difficult task for us. So that part apart. So once we were done with that, then clearly we could not get what is actually that I need to do with respect to my research studies. So we kept on meeting our guides, discussing what has to be done, how it has to be done, and other things. So in a month or two, you cannot figure out what it is, what is that you're doing and how it is going to happen and all other things. So it is going to take a lot of time, lot of interaction, lot of readings, lot of understandings and other things. So as time went on, in another 6 months, we finalized with actual topic of what we have to do or what we have to work upon. depending on the facilities that are available, depending upon the materials that we may need, and which are also within the limit of our budget. So if we are applying for any of the research fundings, then it is well and good. If we are not in that category of research funding, then we should keep in mind the fundings also for our research work. So once that is done, continuously we had doctoral committee meetings, and doctoral committee meetings, most of the external members as well as internal, that is our supervisors and chairman from the department, used to ask us a lot of questions. It was not to humiliate us or something, but it was to give a better insight of how my research has to go on, and what are the results. A person who is sitting, who is evaluating us, what are they expecting? All these things will be really scrutinized in our DC meetings, and it gave us a lot of opportunities to come out with very good research papers in our whole journey of research at DSU. And once our DC meetings were regularly conducted, there came the time of pre-comprehensive Viva, and after that we gave pre-PhD colloquium. So once everything was approved, we are at final stage of submission of our final thesis. So it goes on. So whatever you plan, it might not happen in such a manner with respect to doctoral studies. So you just need to go on, push yourself to the greater edge, and try to analyze things at your perspective, and try to find out different results with your own studies and with your own efforts. Guides will be there to help you all, but they cannot feed you all until the last step. It is us who have to walk in the path what they show and try to reach our goals. So, and publishing is also a very important aspect. Yeah, we have to publish 2 research journals, in journals 2 research articles, which is Scopus and SCI Index, and also 2 conferences. And luckily, with the support of my guide, I have published also book chapters in the field of study, which was a great journey. And regularly, any doubts with respect to the process of PhD with respect to DC meetings and other formalities that has to be completed, if you just approach any of the research committee members, dean sir, or your supervisors, they are really ready to help at any point of time. If even you're in at a faraway place, then you can just call them. If you're not satisfied with the answers of your guide, or you want something more, then you can always contact them, and they are always ready to help. This was my experience with respect to the research journey that I had in DSU. I hope the same thing and more better journey you all will be having with respect to your research. Thank you.
Thanks, Vijay. Those were very, very informative nuggets of information from an outgoing doctoral scholar. All the best to you also for your degree and for your future ahead.
Thank you.
So that was the doctoral perspective scholar. So Banga sir, if shall we proceed with the vote of thanks for this first?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. I would like to thank our Honorable Registrar Sir, who has attended the session and provided really valuable inputs for all our doctoral research scholars. Sir, thank you for your presence. Thank you for your inputs and your support, without which I think our scholars would not be able to proceed. I would like to thank our beloved Dean Research, Dr. M.K. Banga, without whose support this department itself would not have been able to function. Sir has been a prolific researcher himself, and this department has functioned and flourished under his nurturing, and we are very privileged and proud to have him guide us all through. Thank you, sir, for giving the perspectives to our new PhD batch of scholars. And the entire program also has been, his brainchild as to how he would like to take this forward. And that is why PhD orientation program part 1 is today, and the PhD program orientation part 2 will be next Saturday, wherein he is bringing another very accomplished resource person to sensitize all the research scholars on various aspects. Sir, I thank you for your inputs today. I would also like to thank Dr. Sunil More, Dean, Professor and Dean for School of Basic and Applied Sciences, and a very prolific researcher himself, and his 2 outgoing research scholars from the university are going to get the degree soon. Sir, thank you so much for providing the perspectives to our new research scholars. I would like to thank Dr. Asha Nadik, Doctoral Committee Chairperson, Department of MBA Management Studies. Ma'am, thank you so much for your valuable inputs to the management research scholars and also giving so many resource inputs as well. I would like to thank Dr. Sarvana for his valuable inputs to the engineering stream students and the guidance that he's provided to our research scholars. I would like to thank the three passing out scholars. They are just three among the other almost 6 or 7 outgoing scholars. So I'd like to thank and wish well Shweta V, outgoing research scholar from the School of Basic and Applied Sciences under Dr. Sunil More. I thank Gayatri for her valuable inputs under the guidance of Dr. Asha Nadik. I also thank Vijay under the supervisorship of Dr. Sarvana for giving his valuable inputs. I also heartily thank all the distinguished guests, faculty members, dean, chairpersons, HODs who are currently gracing the occasion, and my dear PhD research scholars for having attended this session. We would like to close the first session and proceed on to the orientation after a 5-minute break, orientation on the coursework, primarily on research methodology, which Dr. Banga sir will be facilitating. So we'll take a 5 minutes break, but we will have to proceed with a new link. Sir, Banga sir, right? Shall I send them the new link?
Yeah, please do send.
Okay, so I'm going to send all of you through the earlier invitation mail a new Zoom link. After 5 minutes, kindly re-log in with that new link. All supervisors, all faculty members, all deans, chairpersons, you are also welcome to join the session, but especially the new doctoral research scholars are requested to definitely join the subsequent session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and all the best to all the research scholars. Have a very, very rewarding journey. Thank you.
Yeah,
right. So Banga sir, shall we close the first round of the session? I am sending the link to the...
Anyway, let us now wish all the best to all the
yes,
research scholars.
Yeah, wishing everyone all the best. Good afternoon, good day, but we are re-logging back after 5 minutes. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this meeting now.